Okay, here I go. So this is Virtus Pro against Kinguin. This was at FaceIT LAN. It resulted in a 16-0, spoiler alert, victory in favor of Kinguin. This is on cash. I'm going to throw it on a nice auto director, and we'll let the game run through a little bit, and I'll pause it every now and then when I need to actually talk about something. So here it looks like just a fast 5-man A push from Virtus Pro. They're going to run into the A bomb site, and the counter terrorists, they're spotting A from spawn truck. This is a common setup to do where you just retake the A bomb site if the terrorists do end up going there. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to have a really strong defense over at B. So if the terrorists were to rush B, the counter terrorists would have a really good strong defense there. They'd have one person spotting for mid and one person spotting at A. And basically this defense is to say, okay, we stop a B push. If there's no B push, we're going to push through B and we're going to have a nice flank onto A. And oftentimes terrorists choose one of the two things to do: rush B, rush A. These are both really common simple strats to do. One thing to keep in mind though is that 4 of the counter terrorists do have armor and none of them have utility. I mean, Scream is the only one with utility. He's got a kit and he's got a flashbang, and Scream's the one who's spotting from upper B. It's easier to retake A on this map than it is to retake B, just because A is more open and it's longer range. So the fight from CT spawn and highway into A site is much longer. It's longer range, and it's a lot better for USPs to fight this distance than USPs to come into B and retake into B and fight close range against Glocks. So that's the thought process behind Kinguin's setup here. So we're going to see VP essentially get into the bomb site with minimal to no casualties. We do see that they do have smoke grenades. So what this is going to mean is that they're going to get into the bomb site here, and they'll be able to get the bomb plant. They do have the smokes, so they should probably get in without casualties. And it just comes down to the post-plant positioning from Virtus Pro. And right here, before anything even happens on this round, the post-plants that Virtus Pro want to have is, this is already one issue that I see happening already. And we're 13 seconds into the round and I see one issue. And that being, every single Virtus Pro member is coming towards A. There's not a single person who's either going door, which isn't massively crucial, but the crucial point would be boosting middle or sitting in mid waiting for rotations, or even just sitting back in T-spawn somewhere watching for a push. So if you have a person back in T-spawn watching B for a push, in T-spawn here just sitting here watching for mid for a push, sitting back at A main just sitting here watching for a flank, sitting back at the door watching for a push. Again, just any of these positions, Virtus Pro needs to have one person in any of these like different positions just watching for a flank coming in from Kinguin. But without that kind of information, they're just going to get boxed in here at the bomb site when the Kinguin players come and flank and they retake from, multi-prong retake. Other than that, having a guy in A main is crucial. Another person here just a spot for the bomb. The bomb needs to get planted over for A main, and then they need to have the person who planted the bomb get behind quad box. So quad box, forklift, A main, one person watching flank, and even one person in the door at this point. This is why it's like crucial for one person to be here who can go to the door afterwards. It's a very strong position to be in, especially on pistol if the bomb is planted in this position right over here. Because you can open the door and you can just deal with anyone who's there. If you open the door from side, so it opens inwards, it's a really strong position. So we're going to see here in just a second how this plays out. So Snacks is going to be watching for the flank, which is absolutely huge. The terrorists are going to get to the bomb site. Already they're losing. Who went down? That was a player inside of A main to Fox. That was a shot through the smoke. That's really tough to swallow, just because that's just unlucky. Already, okay, so what we see here is really good from Virtus Pro. They're planting for A main, which is what we said they need to do. They have one person quad box already. Snacks was watching for the flank, and Bialy's using the smoke grenade cover to get back towards forklift or A main. So Virtus Pro is doing everything properly at the moment. Getting back into A main. These are the great post-plant positions. Taz, okay, right here, Taz peeked out from quad and died to a CT spawn player here. Unnecessary, completely unnecessary. Taz should have been hiding back behind here the entire time. So already at a man disadvantage, Taz is peeking out and getting himself killed. Not good at all. Snacks is in a fight with Flanker, and we're going to see here, Bialy just out on his own at the forklift. And it's okay to be out at forklift if he has teammates alive at quad box and they can do some sort of crossfire or something like that. But Bialy's just going to get overrun here by all the Kinguin players just coming in from the side. So this is not a good position for him. So he's going to go down. He does take one out, but already Kinguin's flanking from A main and coming in here together really heavy. And we lost Taz already over at quad. We lost one person, I forget who, on the entry, and we lost Bialy just then at forklift. So right there, Virtus.pro's just falling apart, and their post plant positioning isn't where they need to be in order to hold for this retake. So Kinguin's gonna clean up this round fairly easily and get the bomb defused. Going on to the eco round, it looks like VPs opted to just get a bunch of scouts and Tech 9s. So what they want to do is they want to tag people, they want to get the damage with the scouts, and then let the Tech 9s and CZs get up close and do a lot of damage onto tagged players who are already hit by the scout, who are 1 to 2 shotable by a pistol. Neo's looking for a pick at B. Who's the other one? Pasha is looking for a pick on mid. So that's how they're currently set up at the moment. Just looking for picks with the scouts and looking to see if they can get some damage. The rest of the pistols are just kind of hanging around. They bought up behind it. They bought armor and they bought the Molotov. So Taz is probably going to Molotov into the vents here in just a second. But we did see Neo getting the entry kill onto B. They smoked off CT spawn and they're pushing to the site. Now it looks like Neo's actually pushing into CT spawn, which is completely unnecessary. He does not need to do this at all. He gets a kill. That's a really big kill, but again, this is almost an overextension of play here. Just because they got the opening kill, they're on eco, they're getting into the bomb site, and he's pushing through a smoke with a scout. And had there been another counter-terrorist, let's say Scream, instead of pushing out Heaven, well, actually Scream was behind Checkerbox the entire time, he wasn't even in Heaven. Let's say Scream was in Heaven though, or in CT spawn, Neo's dead, and now it's a 4-on-4. Scream's able to pick off one. Two. There's no trades here. There's like all the Virtus.pro members are just so split up because Neo basically got the opening kill here and went straight through. It basically what happened is Scream was back here. No one checked the site, so the bomb site was completely open, and Checker was completely open. Like this wasn't cleared at all. This wasn't cleared. So what Virtus.pro needs to do is they need to be together, and they need to have one person come to the bomb site and clear it. And they need to have someone come into check room and clear this, and they need to make sure that this area is clear, and they need to have someone holding the vents as well. That's what Virtus.pro needs to do here. Because neither of these things were done, Scream was able to get out, get a kill, Rain was able to get out, get a kill, and actually it's 2 kills. So it's a very difficult defeat for VP to face at this point. So Virtus.pro is going to have to do a full save here. They just did a force buy. Neo has smoke flash. They're going to group up towards B. Fox is probably just going to blast all these nerds. He's just going to... That smoke is not that great. That's a huge overcommitment from Kinguin though. Just like, they see this one smoke, and then they drop 2 smokes in retaliation. That's poor grenade management, in my opinion. Just because Scream can already see the crosshair, they can hear the vents, they have one person spotting mid. There's no reason for Scream to need to smoke off Checker in this situation just yet. Beyond that, like, where did his smoke even go? So Scream and Fox, they're just sitting up back at the sites, getting free kills. And it's a great decision by Fox, actually, in this position. He was up close, spotting for a push from the terrorists. But once the terrorists smoked off this close angle here, and Fox couldn't see it, he just backed straight up into the bomb site and played it passively. He's like, you know what? You have this advanced position. You can have it. I'm going to fall back to the bomb site. You still need to take the bomb site from me. You've just wasted a smoke getting up close. You probably don't have much else. You're probably on a full eco. I'm going to play with my teammates, Scream and CT spawn, and play a crossfire. So that was really well played from Fox there in terms of decision making. It's just throwing those smokes didn't really make much sense at all. So I'm going to throw it back onto auto director and see if it can catch some action for me before it goes down. Michael already taking an aggressive position over at A. He's peeking into A main with this op. This This is a very aggressive angle from him, but it's a very good angle. He can usually grab a person who's... Terrorists don't normally look out for someone to be in this position here. Okay, they might look out for someone who's near or around quad or bomb site or even fence, but even this angle is an off angle from the fence. The fence angle is like this, and this angle is more acute. So Mecha might be able to grab like the arm or the shoulder of one of the terrorists who are lining up a smoke from this position here. So it's a very good aggressive position from him, just to point out. Looks like slow control. VP is just looking to hold back for pushes from the Kinguin side of things, and they're not going to actually take any aim duels. Right now they're just looking to push back any sort of aggression, and then they're going to regroup and do something together. So Taz actually has Molotov right now, I believe. No, he doesn't. But they are going to go out middle, and it's just Rain here up close middle by himself. And I just want to point out Rain's position. He's got an MP7, and he's got no one to rotate to him. Dennis is the quickest rotation, and Dennis would come to highway basically. But by the time Rain makes contact with any enemies, Rain's already going to be dead. So what that does is two things. One, it forfeits middle control to the terrorists. Terrorists now control this entire area, which means that they can push into CT spawn, they can go up highway, or they can go vents to B. So that's very good for the terrorists. The other thing to note is that it's going to actually take one person out of the game for the counter-terrorists, which means it's going to be 5 versus 4, and it's going to cut the map in half. So Virtus Pro is going to cut the map in half, where there's 2 enemies on either side of the map, and Virtus Pro can basically leave one person at middle who will control the rotations from B to A, which would most likely happen like that, or from A to B, which will most likely happen like that. So Rain getting one pick off there actually is really good for Kinguin, but already we see, okay, so he's dead, and Dennis is just regressing from highway by himself when his teammate's dead. This is a very high risk play on the risk reward scale. It's not necessary. You've already lost middle control. You've seen multiple Virtus Pro members actually go out middle, and all this is giving your opponent an aim duel to take. So right here, Virtus Pro's looking in, 2 different spots. They're looking at Z, which is what they just smoked, and they're looking at highway. These are the 2 positions that the counter terrorists are going to rotate to. So these are the 2 positions that Virtus Pro is staring at, okay? So right here, Dennis peeking out from highway is actually saying, hey guys, I'm right here. Whereas if Virtus Pro was to go up highway into A, Dennis could have played from one of various different positions where he could have dealt with this attack towards highway, and this highway player who from Virtus Pro would need to check all 4 of these different angles all at the same time, and Dennis is able to get more kills. So playing passively here is a smarter decision from Dennis, but it looks like he's gonna get a kill, and even now he got the kill. He could fall back, but he's peeking out and he gets a second kill. So he made the wrong decision. Like, this is a bad decision to make. Okay, he peeks out, he gets the first kill. That's a fucking huge win. He overcommits and gets another kill. That's just bad on Virtus Pro's part. Like, okay, Dennis got the kill, he hit his shot, he connected the shot, but that peek, Virtus Pro should be expecting, they should be waiting for it, and it's not good for Kinguin if Dennis just peeks out and Virtus Pro gets the kill on them. Because Virtus Pro can easily win the round off the back of that mistake. So even though it worked out for him and he got 2 kills and most likely secured the round for his team, it was a very bad mistake. Like, if he does that over 100 times, that works maybe 10 times, okay? It's not a good success rate. It's not a good risk reward ratio. The risk is too high for the reward. Biley gets a nice kill there right before he goes down. Even now, 1 versus 1 for Taz. And this is after all said and done, with Dennis getting those 2 kills, which he shouldn't have gotten, arguably. Rain getting that 1 kill, which he shouldn't have got. Like, it was all timing with Rain. When Rain peeked out from this position close at middle, like, he peeked out at the perfect time and saw the shadow of the VP player walking out of the mid garage. If VP's, like, a second earlier or a second later to walk to mid, Rain's dead. Or if they flash out before they go, he's dead. If they boost up before they go, Rain's dead. Like, there's so many situations and variables that have to line up for Rain to make that play work, and the stars just aligned for him. So already, though, even with Rain getting that 1 kill and Dennis getting 2, making it a you know, arguably, was it a 3 versus 2? VP is in a really good situation to win this round. Taz versus Fox in 1 versus 1. Taz knows where he is. All he has to do is land the shot. He doesn't, and Kinguin gets that round. Not a deserved round by any means at all. And that's going to put Virtus Pro, they got the bomb plant. They're going to be on another rifle buy, but we can see already they don't really have the economy to support a massive nade set. So what they're going to do is they're going to do a quick boost over mid, and they did do some smokes over on mid, so there should be a smoke that's blooming at Z in a second here. But Rain is already blocked off at highway with this highway smoke. So this smoke, he's not going to really be able to do much with it. But what you see him doing here is exposing his body and coming out all the way to the side of the smoke so that he can see into mid. Again, he doesn't have any teammates at sandbag. He doesn't have any teammates close middle in this area here. He doesn't have anyone in the vents. He doesn't have anyone close middle, and he doesn't have anyone sandbag. So at this point in time, there's no reason for Dennis to actually need to peek out of middle, because he's just exposing his body. He's running out where the closest cover is all the way behind this wall if he runs this way, or all the way back behind this box if he runs it this way. So that's the amount of time that he needs to run back once he shows himself. So if Virtus Pro comes up and they're looking towards Z, they're going to see Rain. They're going to be able to snap to him. If Rain tries to run away, Virtus Pro can just spam him through the smoke. So this is overextension from Rain here again. He's losing health. He's getting spammed. He's lost some health, but he's able to get out of there. Another smoke goes down at Z. Dennis can't really do anything at mid. And now Virtus Pro has mid control. So they have Taz in mid, who's arguably just doing something that he shouldn't be doing by himself. And now at this point, Virtus Pro can choose to do an A split coming out A main door and highway all at the same time, or they can do a B split and go through vents and B at the same time, or they can do a fake of some sorts. They can do a heavy fake on A and then run out vents to B, and it'll pull all of the counter tears to rotate up. So Virtus Pro has full map control, and they have over a minute left to work with. So it's a very good situation for them to be in. So Rain pushes into A main, which is a good counter reaction from Kinguin to say, okay, we see that you're boosting heavy over mid and coming out mid garage, and you're taking a majority of your team, at least 3 people coming out mid. So what we're gonna do is there's maximum of 2 people, either B or A, or maybe they split off in 1 and 1, or maybe they split off 1 and 1. Let's retake control of an area. So what Kinguin did is they said, okay, you're taking control of mid, we're going to push into A main, and we're going to kill you where you're weak, where you only have 1, maybe 2 people at most. And that's exactly what they did. Rain got the kill. We saw Mikaleli get a kill from A site onto middle. So they're just playing a passive setup. They said, fuck it, you have mid, we're just going to op here from A site into highway. And there's a really good reaction from Kinguin to stop this Virtus Pro push. So Virtus Pro is still a man down, but all their healths are just like really low. So it's going to be an easy cleanup. So that was a really good decision from Kinguin to fall back into that passive setup, leave their opera in either A site or quad box looking at highway, counter take control of A main when Virtus Pro takes out mid just at the same time that's happening. And then Virtus Pro now either has to run into B into 2 players here, or they have to run up highway through an opera. They've lost A main control, and there's probably a third CT, either CT spawn or, you know, forklift or something like that. So it's a very difficult situation for Virtus Pro to be in. Virtus Pro, they've just bought up here, or sorry, they just bought Tech 9s. Taz shouldn't really be buying armor. Okay, he has 2,400, he's even up the money with the rest of his team, but what he could be thinking to himself in this position is save the extra 600 bucks and be able to drop Pasha and op. So this armor, this little bit of armor, isn't doing much for his team at all. Maybe he stays alive a little bit longer, but in the grand scheme of things, most of the time it's not going to do much for the team, just having 1 person with armor and the rest of them don't have armor. So we're going to see them with smokes though. So it looks like they're going to do some sort of smoke play onto the A bomb site just because they're all standing A already. So Neo's probably going to throw something that will go either CT spawn, most likely forklift. We'll see a smoke thrown like that next to the forklift, and then probably a third one that goes to quad box, I'd imagine. So they jumped out before the smokes were off, and they're able to get the opening kill on Mikaleli. This is actually a huge opening. Now they can at least force the bomb plant, and they have a gun here for Pasha as well. So this is a really good situation for Virtus Pro to be in. They're still probably going to lose the round, but it's it's a good position. They have the bomb planter, which means that they get the money bonus plus the bomb plant. They have an op here, so they have a chance at actually winning the round. They have good position with the op. He's at quad box. They're probably going to do a boost here. So these are all things that are really good going in for Virtus Pro already. And again, Taz, that armor didn't really fucking help because he just got shot in the head and he was dead early on in the round. So Kinguin's going to clean up this round easily as we go into the next round. And we see Neo opping here instead of Pasha, which is a little weird. But he does have the spawn towards B, so that's the decision making behind it. Just, you have that lead spawn, go take the op, go get that entry kill. If you can't get it, we can toss the op back and forth between him and Pasha. But Kinguin setting up with a nice... This is a standard setup. They're playing 2B, 2 mid, 1A. And what they do is if there's no B rush from the terrorists, they're going to boost one person up into the vents, keep one person at B, one person in the vents, one person sandbag, one person highway, and one person A. Now if it's a B hit from the terrorists, strong rotations here through the vents. There's going to be 3 people coming through the vents fast. VP goes A, strong reaction from the counter-terrorists, 3 people fly up highway early. VP goes middle, boom, they're going into a brick wall of 3 members from the counter-terrorists right here. So it's a really good setup here from Kinguin, which can basically respond to any sort of threat from the terrorist team. So Virtus Pro, already only a minute left on the clock, and they're still looking for that B pick with the op from Neo. And they're not really doing much in the way of map control. They know that Kinguin's playing passively. Kinguin's already used, we can see, all of the smokes from Kinguin are used. And whether that be at A main at the start, on mid garage, or at B, or rather in this area here, they've used all their smokes, and there's less than a minute, just shy of a minute left on the clock. And VP hasn't done anything in the way of map control. So VP can basically do anything they want at this point in time, but they need to do something together, and executes are probably going to work really well, as Kinguin's going to have to do either a dry retake, or they're going to have to do dry aim duels. They don't have any nades to work with. That's it. So already a kill from Pasha on mid. That's going to open things up. Michael just walks into Z and is able to peek out mid and get Pasha. Like, that shouldn't happen. This kill at door by Rain, who's at forklift onto Taz, that shouldn't happen either. Taz should be like one of the last people making contact. So if Taz opens the door and spots that Rain's at the forklift from here to here, Taz should just say, okay, he's at forklift. Taz is just running off, backing off, and just hiding for a little bit, letting his teammates come out A main, make a little distraction, and then he can peek from door again. Because all eyes right now are going to be onto Taz into the doorway right now. So Taz should not be forcing that battle. But they do get the trade kill, which is pretty good. And they're going to get into the bomb site most likely here as well. It's just Neo's in a really not good position coming up highway with the op. Like, he doesn't need to be coming up highway. Right now, what he can be doing is he could be either standing back here with the op looking at Z and cutting off the highway rotation from the counter-terrorists. Or he could just be backing off and coming into A main, as the bomb's most likely going to get planted for him in A main. Like, those are the 2 plays that Neo should be making right now, but instead he's coming up highway with the op. And they just spotted him out too. Like, I don't know what he's doing in that situation. Like, what are you doing, man? Pick an area and fight, or pick an area and get the fuck out of there. So that's a really dumb kill to be made. And the other problem is, so Snacks is inside the door, and what he's thinking right now is, okay, the door's open outwards. He should have closed the door and opened it inwards. Like, that's a better angle for him, so he can actually peek from this angle here into the site and see the bomb. But right now he can't do that, and his teammates are just gonna get just overwhelmed. So Snacks is in the door's not open the way that he needs it to be, and now all of a sudden we see this 3 versus 2 in the favor of Virtus Pro just turn to this. And there's no he's there. Snacks is able to peek out, and they're gonna end up pushing him, kill him, and get the defuse. So not that great of a situation. Again, if the door's open inwards, Snacks can be standing back here and see the bomb. So this is, Snacks wants to come here, close the door, open it the opposite way, and stand in here. And now not only can he see the bomb, but he can actually see the counter-terrorists who are running across the bomb site to push his teammate at quad. Snacks seeks first contact, Starts shooting at these people pushing a quad box, and now Taz, who's behind quad box, or whoever it wasn't Taz, it was Bailey, I guess, can peek out from the side and shoot after Neo makes that first contact, or as Snacks takes that first contact rather. So this is actually really risky from Snacks here. Why is it switched off? Snacks actually tried to just walk in through that smoke and make something happen. But it's like at the same time that Snacks is walking into this beach smoke trying to get a kill here, like they have another person coming out A and trying to battle Mekalele here at A for a kill. And it's like there's too many individual solo plays happening at this moment where it doesn't look like it doesn't look like Virtus Pro has any clear idea of what they want to do. Like if they're gonna go off of Snacks and see if he can get a kill and open up B, they should have 2 or 3 people here. 2 to 3 people just what the fuck? That's a 3. 2 to 3 people with Snacks. Sorry, 2 to 3 people in total. So Snacks and 1 person, or Snacks and 2 people ready to go in B after they open up the round and capitalize off that kill. Or the same thing, but over at A, where they have 2 to 3 people in A main, they get that kill on Mekalele, they smoke off the forklift, and they push into the bomb site. That's what they should do. But instead, they have, you know, 1 person here fighting, 1 person here, 1 person here, 1 person here, and 1 person died. I don't even know where the fuck he died. And it's just too many individual fights going on for Virtus Pro that Kinguin's just going to, if they have proper setups and positioning, they're just going to exploit that and they're going to win no matter what. Just because it's the way that the map's worked out. You're coming through a choke point as a terrorist. Everything that you come through is a choke point. Everything is a choke point. These are all choke points, and they're tiny choke points too. They're not even like massive gaping choke points. They're tiny. They're like, you know, 4x4 doorways. So again, it all dwindles down to a 4 versus 1. There's not much Neo can do, so we're just gonna fast forward to the next round. Already 8-0 on the scoreboard, and Neo is buying like an MP7. It's just what's going through the minds of Virtus Pro at the moment. So here they choose to do a mid fake. So they fake mid with heavy smokes and they throw flashes over, and they're just gonna pop out A real quick. And again, it's gonna be, you know, a huge clusterfuck on Mekalele. They're probably gonna get the kill. They're probably gonna get the bomb plant, and it's just gonna be down to the post plants that they have to hold to win this round. So they did the mid fake. They should be taking A like right about now. Here are the smokes. They're getting to the bomb site. Mekalele took out 2 of them. Taz killed 1. Fox actually got the kill on the mid guy who's just like sitting there lurking, and now it's all down to Neo in a 1 versus 2. He's got the op. He picked it up from his teammate. He's got an AK now. So this is actually an ideal situation. Over a minute left on the clock, 1 versus 2, and one of your opponents has 10 health. Like this is a winnable situation for Neo here. And he has a flash and a molly. He's trying to pick up this bomb, I think. I don't know what he's trying to do. I think he's just missed it a couple times. So he could probably stick the bomb here. And I would try to shift over to, not to forklift or main, I would shift over to quad box. Reason being, if you switch from this position to here or here to here, that's a perfect opportunity for someone at highway to be killing you, or a person at spawn truck to be killing you. And even if like there's a flanker coming up A main to flank, that's another way to get killed. So Neo right now in this position, he threw the flash. He should have used that amount of time that he bought for himself to get behind quad box and played that that position instead. Instead, he's going to walk up. He got spotted in the corner of the screen there, and he's out of position. He doesn't really have any cover, so he's just going to get pushed and killed. So not an ideal situation to be in. They buy up again. Obviously, they got the bomb plant, and they've lost 6 rounds in a row, so they're getting 4,200 bucks, even though that they're losing these rounds. And they're throwing the smoke that lands at B main so that they cross into checker, which is I like that smoke a lot. I think it's underutilized. What it means is, when you smoke this off, it means that you can take control into checker room, and early on you basically keep 2 of the counter terrorists here, because if you're in checker and you just have control of this room, now you can throw the mollies into the bomb site, smoke off the choke points, and just sit there watching out from checker and from B main at the same time, watching for any counter terrorists to leave the bomb site and escape the fire. That's one of the things. Another thing is that you know that this area is completely clear, and you've pushed the counter terrorist back into the bomb site, which means that you can leave one person here who can control the rotations as you do a 4-man A hit. So that's also a really big deal. So it opens up a lot just taking vents control, and it's a very underutilized smoke and strategy. So Virtus.pro's putting a lot of bodies actually towards B, and they did get that 1-for-1 trade, so they mollied this player out of position here, and the player peeked out before he died to the molly, and he got the kill onto Snacks. So that's, or sorry, Snacks died by Scream. Scream got killed off in return. 1-for-1 trade is usually good for the terrorists, especially if there's over a minute left in the round. So Virtus.pro, that's a pretty good opening for them. And again, they've killed the checker guy. They can take control of checker room. And if they do that, already another kill. That's actually a really good position for Virtus.pro to be in. But the problem is that they're spread out so far, and they can't really do anything off of that. So they need to regroup. And in this position, even, I'd say Taz should just go back to be with them, and they should just fuck off any sort of fake or distraction, whatever he's doing. They should just fuck that off entirely. And these two things that they should be doing in this situation. One is these two players who are still at B right now should be doing a massive B fake and then rotating back out mid and going up A, or do a massive B fake in here, boost one up into the vents, he'll come up highway to A, and they have Taz stay at the door, and they have Bialy go door with Taz, or he can be an A main. The problem with being A main is that he might get pushed and he has a bomb, so that's not good. But basically, these two players should be towards A, and these two players should do a massive B fake, and then go up, boost back up into the vents and go mid to A. That's one thing. Or the other is Taz coming straight back to B, and they do a 4-man B take. Those are the two plays that I'd make in the situation. So Neo, again, they knew, so the counter-terrorists knew that Neo was here. They knew that the terrorists took control of this area. The counter-terrorists rotated and took control of, like, they rotated to the bomb site because the terrorists took control of it. Neo in this position does not need to peek. He just needs to sit somewhere and sit at a really nerd angle and get a kill. Just not an engagement. He doesn't want to take a duel. He doesn't want to take an engagement. He's there to kill them in the back as they're rotating from B to A, or they're pushing through B and pushing into T-spawn. That's all Neo's job is. His position has already been found out, and the counter-terrorists have already rotated on him. He's done his job by getting into this checker area, showing his position, and getting that opening kill. Now, him dying puts in a 3 versus 3 instead of that 4 versus 3 situation. Virtus.pro still going to get into the bomb site, still going to get the bomb plant. So again, a really good position for them to be in. But it would have been a whole lot better if Neo's still in this position here and just rotates and flanks CT spawn instead. Right now, when the terrorists are actually on the bomb site and planting the bomb and everything. Great kill there. Again, Bialy, like, what are you doing out in the open? Just hide behind fork or get into A main. Those are the two spots that you're in. You're not out here. You're not in any position here. This is no man's land. This is where you get killed. Be back here if you're gonna be like that at all. Taz needs to hit that. Taz really needs to hit that. Taz really needs to hit that. That's it. It's over. He's really gotta hit that. Already 10-0, and VP must be thinking to themselves, holy fuck, these post-plant situations, like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Because it happened earlier that day. They lost a 1 versus 4 to Rain on train. It's like, what the fuck is going on? So here's the B push from the counter-terrorist, 1-for-1 trade. Still, I would say it's favorable for the terrorists in the situation. 4-4 over a minute left on the clock. I would say the Terrorists are favored still. Here's the vent B split. And right now, like, Snacks should be mulling back checker. They should be clearing it. Screams played here already once before, but they really need to clear this angle out. And I have a sneaking suspicion they won't. 1-for-1 trade, again, still pretty good, but they've just lost everyone who's staring at the vents, and now Dennis is probably going to flank them. It's going to be a really big flank, too. Oh my god, how does he fuck that up? Rain 1 versus 2. Again, Virtus Pro, there's no reason for them to be losing this round. And what the fuck is Snacks doing? He hears him. Why doesn't Snacks back off to this position? Like, instantly, just back off there. And Taz can sit here, and they can establish a crossfire on this vent guy. Oh no. Okay, even now, it's not a horrible position to be in. Oh, you really gotta hit those, Taz. You really gotta hit those. A nice 2 versus... sorry, 2-1 versus 1s for Rain to win there. It's already 11-0. And yeah, at this point, I'm just losing all confidence if I'm on Virtus Pro. There's no way out of this. And this dumbass in chat says 1 versus 2. Idiot, learn to count. It was a 1 versus 2, but because the way the Terrorists played it, it was 2 1 versus 1 engagements. So please stop being naive. And Kinguin's just winning all of these aim duels, and this vent boost setup that they have is really strong. It's really keeping a lot of mid control in the favor of Kinguin's side. Scrim sees him go into Z, and there's not much that Neo can do at this point. He's already been spotted out. He's gonna get taken out in the back. 12-0 going into the 13th round. We're actually gonna see, this is a forced buy, but it's like a mixture buy, and this is something that you do when you're like tilting a bit, because Taz bought out fully. He's got $0. He bought the AK and armor, and then he's got 3 teammates that bought pistol armor, and 1 person who bought pistol and no armor. And it's just, what's going on? They're gonna do a full smoke A play and try to do something on the bomb site, and they're gonna run into a brick wall of 3 Kinguin players. So Kinguin actually has a really good response to this by throwing a Molotov into A main, which is kind of slowing down the A main players. But they also did another Molotov onto the door. And basically this slows the push from Virtus Pro for so long because they don't want to push through these Molotovs. They didn't get to the Molotovs as they exploded. They got to the Molotovs basically after they were fully bloomed. So Virtus Pro needs to wait the Molotov out, and it is basically its full duration. Had they been there just as the Molotov landed, they could have pushed out and taken minimal damage, but now they're just like, fuck, we can't go anywhere. A main, not so much. A main, they'll probably take minimal damage, but coming out the door, since the fire's coming into the doorway, they're going to take like 70 damage to come out of here, and it's just not worth it for them. So they do have to wait this out, unfortunately. But they do have the smokes up to work with, but Rain's already in a great position here to take care of it, and nobody's even checked for him. He's already got 2, 3... Oh, sorry, that's 2, because Michael Lily got a kill with the up. And there's gaps in the smoke as well. This is really not good for Virtus Pro here. So this round's pretty much over. Crisscross mid smokes early, probably into a B split. I don't know why they're boosting up. So if you're doing these smokes that block mid off like this, it's basically designed so that you can come out mid garage safely, because if you're boosting over mid, the counter terrorists who are in these positions here can actually still see over the smokes. If we jump on the sandbag, they can see over the smokes and they can still see boost. So throwing these smokes doesn't actually do anything. If they're going to boost over mid, they may as well just smoke off here and here like what they did earlier, because it at least blocks off those positions that the counter terrorists can shoot you from. But beyond that, if the counter terrorists are in up close positions, anyone who's getting boosted up, it just has too many angles to fight. They have to look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different angles if you're boosted. Whereas if you come out and this is all smoked off, you just have to deal anyone who's here on your right or anyone who's here on your left as he come out through the garage. So he's gonna get boosted up. Okay, so that's what he's doing. So they just did the mid smokes, and Biley's just gonna sit here, and they're gonna do heavy pressure through B, and Biley's gonna be here, and he's gonna kill anyone who goes through the vents. So in this case, this is a smart play. This is a good decision. The problem with this though is that as soon as you do these mid smokes, the instant reaction from the counter terrorists are going to be Z guy rotates into B and A guy rotates the highway. If they're doing like a 2-1-2 setup, so if the terrorists do 2-1-2, that's how counter terrorists react. One goes there to B, and one person comes here to mid. So that's exactly what's happened. We have 2 of the counter terrorists already on the B bomb site. Oh, that's a counter boost? That's a huge pick off for VP. Wait. 5 versus 3? They just killed mid? A's probably going to be weak off of this. Because most of the time, the mid players, the extra mid players, whoever is extra on mid from the counter terror side, is going to be an A rotator who's coming to mid, as opposed to B rotator coming to mid. I would just abandon this shit entirely and just go 4 people straight up into A. Wait, no, they don't lose this round, do they? No. 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 Ha. 3 HP! He wins it with 3 HP! I'm so fucking done, dude. Oh my, why is Bayali peeking? The bomb's planted in the bomb site. Why doesn't he just play passively? He knows the last remaining counter terrorist is just throwing a fucking Molotov in CT spawn. The Molotov was thrown here, which means that the CT had to have been somewhere in here. Why is Bayali going there? Just sit fucking back, man. Oh my god, dude. Virtus Pro looking to do a mid boost, and they're just going to run into a brick wall. Looks like a fast A split. Denner should not be mid by himself in this situation. His teammate just rotated from A. Sorry, from mid back into A. No reason for Dennis to be this aggressive by himself. And Neo just running in through a B. Neo actually ran through a smoke at B. After his teammates made it a 4-on-4, they took mid control and they have a minute 20 left on the clock. Neo actually pushed through a smoke at B. Even now, like, this is a good position for VP to be in. 3 versus 3, they're getting a bomb planted in just a second. Taz, man. Hit the shot, you fucking grandpa! Even still, 2 versus 2. That smoke was huge. That smoke was huge. Okay, so it's all on to the pistol round. 15-0 already. God, VP's so tilt. That was B-rush. Oh my fucking god. That's it. It's over. It's over. It's over. Like, what do you do at this point?